Good morning, traders. This is a live trade recap. I took one trade this morning with Artl and I have it on video. I'm going to share it with you in just a moment. I just want to show you one interesting thing that I learned today. I've seen it before, but it never really clicked. And I always have this page open. This is the Webull Top Gainer pre-market screener that you get on the markets pane. And I always have it organized by volume. Then I also have it on my laptop. And at this point, this is already like 12 minutes into the pre-market. There was really nothing happening. And I started to get suspicious of this watch list. So I decided to restart Webull on my laptop while I had this up. And as soon as I did, different stocks appeared than were up here. And I realized this isn't really the top gainers list, even though that's what I selected. Webull has like a problem right around 4 a.m., updating these lists properly for whatever reason. But the telltale sign is, these are not top gainers, obviously, because they're in the red. So there are other top gainers that that should be here that are not. So if you ever see that mix of red and green, when you have the top gainers pre-market list selected and the market's pane, then that's a sign you need to restart Webull and start it over again as far as pulling this list up. So I'll do that right here. So this is after doing it on my laptop and seeing it. So now watch what happens. So this is exactly how I did it before, but look at the difference. Same list, organized by volume. It took those the top losers basically off of the list. So I don't know if you saw there. Yeah, so I have a whole different set of top three volume stocks on the list. So I put those on the list, and turns out I missed one entry here that I don't know if I would have seen it or not, because this is, there was very little volume back here, so it might not have been in the top three. But if it was, this would have been one entry, and this obviously went to 2R right here. These aren't giving any entries because they're below their previous high. Then a few minutes later, Artl popped up on that same exact screener on my laptop, though. I'm sure it was up here too. I was just using my laptop to watch, and it popped up into the number 3 volume slot, so that made me pull it up. And you can see the volume was building here, so it just popped up. So I didn't really miss much. This is like the first run, but this is low volume. So this is enough of a pullback here for me to look for an entry as soon as the high of this candle gets broken. Now, unfortunately, my first entry was a little bit clumsy because I forgot that I had just restarted Webull and I needed to unlock the platform again so that I could take a trade. So right now I'm waiting for 148. So let's see what happens. You have to remember to click in the box of the stock that you want to trade on. So 147, there's 148. So there you saw me. I hit my hotkeys. And also notice, this is something that I was confused about once I was in the trade, but I think I did the right thing here. Is obviously I wanted to enter on this candle, and that's the candle I would have been filled on. But since this was locked out, it looks like I got in on the next one. But I wasn't sure what happened once I was in the trade, since my plan was to enter on this candle and my stop loss was the low of the previous candle. That's the way I played the trade. So then this thing started to take off, and I used my 2R calculator, and I used my real entry. This, I also kind of got clumsy there, but I had to update that too because I put in the stop loss wrong. So yeah, that was the correct numbers right there. The stop loss was 138, and my target was 173.7. So I rounded that up to 174. And then you can see here that I'm in the green right now, but I don't want to place the order yet because this thing was pretty volatile. It was chopping around a lot. and I didn't feel, and the fact that it was below this high here, I didn't feel safe having that order out there. I thought at any moment it could flush down against me, so I wanted to have no orders out so that if I need to stop out with my hotkeys, I can. So I waited a while till I put that order out. You can see here it starts to come down against me, and now it's below my entry, so I'm actually in the red on this right now. But what's actually forming here is a better ABCD pattern. The one that I chose was, this is A, then B is this like consolidation area, and the breakout of that area is C. So it's kind of like this is almost like a 3-bar play, but technically this is not a 3-bar play, because a 3-bar play should be the beginning of a move. So I'm still, calling this more of an ABCD pattern. It's just one that goes into consolidation. But what's actually forming is A, B, and then a more legitimate C. So what could happen in that case is I could have been stopped out on this first entry and then get back in on this second one, but it never came down to my stop. But anyway, my entry for that ABCD pattern would have been like a 154. So this is where everybody else is getting in on this ABCD pattern, which is more of a classic pattern. I would have been able to get in on that one if I was stopped out, because I have 3 trades per day that I can take, all in the pre-market. And that's the reason why, if I get stopped out on one, then I can take 2 more, up to 2 more, until I finally hit 2R or all 3 fail. So now you can see this thing's running. It's breaking up, or it's getting ready to break the previous high. At this point, I'm pretty confident that it's going to work out because of just the volume coming back in, and the price pushed up pretty rapidly. So now it just needed to break that previous high, and now it just needs to hit my target. And boom, there it goes. So got filled at 174. This thing did run higher, and if you would have got in at that 155, it definitely went 2R off of that. I don't think that would have been as big a trade. Again, the P&L wasn't showing up, but I'll show you exactly what it was. This happened yesterday too. Let me see if that changed or not. But let's look at this really quick. This thing went all the way to 284, but that usually doesn't happen, and I don't really mind that it did. My sole interest, especially for this month, is to just strictly trade 2R. And I just wanted to show you that other entry, which was right here. So let's say that you didn't take this entry, or you got stopped out. Actually, this could have been a possible entry, is right here, and then no, you still wouldn't have been stopped out, so never mind on that. But let's look at this one really quick. So you enter in at 154 ideally, and your stop loss is 145, so that's 9 cents for 1R and 18 cents for 2R. So I said 154, 172. So it wouldn't have been as profitable as a trade, but it would have been a safer trade, a lower risk trade, and it obviously went to 2R. So that's 2R trades that worked in this thing. And yeah, I could have added to my position there, but that would have doubled my risk. And I don't want to do that, because if that did fail, there was no guarantee that this was going to happen. If it did fail, then it would have been twice the loss, and it would have been a big loss for sure. Because that first trade, because that stop loss was so wide, it was a pretty high risk trade relative to, most of my trades end up being around 5% risk, and this one was almost 8%. But luckily that led to, I'm going to have to show you on my spreadsheet, because I don't think the P&L is updated, but you can tell from this. See, the buying power went up to 544.11. You can see my orders right here, and the time and date and everything. So I bought in at 149.9, sold at 174, 35 shares, and the P&L on that trade was 842, which is pretty good because it was a $52 trade. So the return on that was 16%. That's actually my biggest winner ever, really, and largest P&L winner ever for one single trade, 842. So can't complain about that. And the 2R trade, the theoretical 2R trade went to 840, so I even got 2 cents better than that. And this is the real difference so far this month, is that because I'm strictly holding the 2R, I'm actually, this is my theoretical P&L. If I would hold everything to 2R, and this is my actual P&L, and this is the first time for the, if right from the beginning of the month that they match. I mean, I would have been happy with them being close, because last month at this time I was about 25% of what my 2R P&L would have been. So far so good, and this is only 2 trades. So I'm trading a lot less because my plan is much stricter, but so far it's working out well, and we'll see if we can keep it going. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions about this trade. Sorry I have to whisper, but it's really early in the morning. And I'll see you in the next video. Always take your stop losses and honor your profit target. So it'll work out in the long run, as long as your plan is good.